They didn't stop using you. You just stopped noticing it. At first, it felt normal, helping, giving, always being there. You thought that's what good people do. But slowly, something felt off. You were tired, drained. Still, you kept showing up, and they kept taking. Most people never notice this part. Being nice can slowly turn into being used. Not because you're weak, but because you don't see the pattern yet. You ignore small signs. You excuse bad behavior. You tell yourself it's okay. And that's where it begins. They ask more. They expect more. They give less. And somehow, it becomes normal. Have you ever felt like you were always there for others, but no one was truly there for you? But here's what most people don't realize. The moment you stop overgiving, everything around you starts to change, and what you see next will be hard to ignore. At first, it feels strange. You say no once, and everything shifts. The same people who were comfortable before suddenly react differently. They question you. They act surprised. Some even get upset. And that confuses you. Did I do something wrong? Why does this feel so uncomfortable? But something strange starts happening. You begin to see clearly. The respect was never real. It was based on what you gave. Most people miss this part. When you stop giving, you see who is only there to take. And that realization, it hits quietly. No drama, no big moment, just a deep understanding. You were valued for your effort, not for who you are. And that truth, it hurts. But here's what most people don't realize. This discomfort is not a setback. It's clarity. And this is where everything changes. Because now you can't go back to who you were. You start pulling back. Not in anger, but in awareness. You give less. You explain less. You stop trying to fix everything. And that's when it hits you. You were doing too much for people who were doing the bare minimum. They expected you to stay the same, always available, always understanding, always giving. But something changed. You chose yourself. And this is where everything changes. You begin to set boundaries. You protect your time. You protect your energy. You protect your peace. Most people never notice this moment. It's the shift from being used to being respected. Because respect starts when access ends. You stop saying yes to everything. You stop feeling guilty for choosing yourself. And that quiet strength, it makes people uncomfortable, because they can't reach you the same way anymore. And when that happens, they don't stay silent. They react. And what they do next reveals more than you expect. Now, they notice not your presence, but your absence. You're not replying the same. You're not showing up the same. You're not giving the same energy. And that bothers them, because something changed, and they can feel it. Most people miss this part. People don't notice your value when you give it freely. They notice it when it's gone, and that's when something strange starts happening. They come back. More attention, more effort, sometimes even apologies. But now, you see it differently. You notice the timing, you notice the pattern, you notice the intention. And that's when it hits you. They didn't change. Your boundaries did. And without your constant giving, they finally feel the gap. But here's what most people don't realize. Not all attention means care. Sometimes it's just a reaction to losing access. And the most powerful part, what you choose next, defines who you become. You stop chasing, not because you don't care, but because you respect yourself. And that changes everything. You don't give to be liked. You don't stay to be accepted. You don't overextend to feel valued. Most people think this makes you cold, but it doesn't. It makes you clear. You still help. You still care. But now, there are limits, and that's when it hits you. The right people don't need your exhaustion to stay in your life. They respect your time. They match your effort. They don't take your kindness for granted. And that calm detachment, it protects you. Because now, you give by choice, not out of pressure. And that is real strength. So let me ask you, have you ever realized you were being used only after you stopped giving? And now that you see it clearly, will you go back to who you were, or keep becoming someone who chooses themselves?